Amid the trials of the Civil War, an African-American Union soldier stands proudly with his family, a rare glimpse into history. This photograph captures the resilience, love, and hope that carried them forward. Their courage helped shape the future of a nation in turmoil. In 1978, renowned dance teacher Patsy Swayze stands proudly with her son Patrick Swayze and his wife Lisa Nemi. A family bound by rhythm and grace, their love for dance shaped Patrick's journey to Hollywood stardom. This moment captures the roots of a legend in motion. During a break on the set of Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, 1953, Jane Russell, the bigger star at the time, playfully showcased one of her lesser-known talents, drawing, as she sketched a portrait of her co-star Marilyn Monroe. Monroe watched curiously amused by Jane's artistic side. When Jane finally revealed the finished sketch, she grinned and teased, "What do you think, a masterpiece or a disaster?" She stands by the mantel, fingers lightly tracing the edges of an old photograph. "He promised he'd be back by spring," she murmurs, her voice barely above a whisper as a distant church bell tolls. She exhales softly, eyes glistening. "Spring came, but he never did." Rare photograph of Marilyn Monroe without makeup, 1955. Marilyn Monroe sits by a window, her face bare, untouched by Hollywood's usual glamour. She gazes softly into the distance. Quiet moment of vulnerability and authenticity in this rare glimpse. She is not the icon, just Norma Jean lost in thought. Little Barack, dressed as a pirate, waves a tiny toy sword with a mischievous grin. "I'll hand over the cookies or face the plank," he declares his mother Stanley and laughs as she adjusts his hat. "Captain Barack, even pirates have to finish their vegetables first," she teases. He pouts for a moment, then breaks into a wide smile. "All right, but only if I get extra treasure after." Lonnie Johnson holds up the Super Soaker, grinning as he gives it a test spray. "Who knew a little water could make such a big splash?" he chuckles. A group of kids laughs and scatters, dodging the blast as water glistens in the sun. Watching them play, he smiles proudly. "Not bad for an idea born in my garage," he muses as the ultimate water battle begins. Gertrude Edel, first woman to cross the English Channel, the 26th of August 1926, done in 14 hours and 31 minutes, beating the male record of 16 hours and 33-minute photos of the day. She did the record. A young girl sits in the rubble of her bombed-out home clutching her doll. "Mama said she'd be right back," she whispers, staring at the ruins around her. Smoke drifts through the air as she holds the doll closer. "It's just us now, isn't it?" Laughter echoes as a group of friends splashes in the waves, the summer sun warming their skin. One friend adjusts her sun hat, grinning. "Let's race to the pier." Last one there buys ice cream. Sand flies as they take off, running carefree and full of life, the war-torn world momentarily forgotten. A young Inuit girl carefully steps down into her igloo, the cold air crisp around her. "Hurry inside before the wind picks up," her mother calls from within. She smiles, her breath visible in the frosty air, feeling the warmth of home just below. Dorothy counts the first black girl to attend an all-white school in the U.S., being taunted by her white classmates at Harry Harding High School in Charlotte, 1957. In the middle of a celebration, a young woman from Oaxaca, Mexico notices she is being photographed and gives a look to the camera. 1985. The sailor kneels, eyes filled with wonder, as he gazes at his baby for the first time, 14 months away. "And look at you now," he whispers, reaching out gently. The baby blinks up at him, then grasps his finger, sealing a bond that time could never break. With sleeves rolled up and grease on her hands, she tightens a bolt under the hood. "Daddy will be proud when he sees it running," her son says, watching in awe. She smiles, wiping her hands. "Until he's home, we keep moving forward." Gaunt faces stare beyond the barbed wire, their hollow eyes filled with fear and uncertainty. A young boy clutches his mother's hand, his grip tightening as the heavy boots of guards echo nearby in the bitter cold. A woman pulls her tattered shawl closer and whispers, "Hold on, we must hold on." This photo shows Margaret and Neve, an American woman who passed away in 1902 after reaching the age of 110. This woman was born in 1792, which means she lived in 3 centuries. Princess Fawzia Fuad stands with regal elegance, her gaze calm yet distant. Draped in fine silk and adorned with jewels, she embodies both Egyptian grace and Persian royalty. In this moment, she is more than a queen, she is a symbol of two worlds united. Timruz Vanaja, a 112-year-old veteran of World War I and the Russian Civil War, sits beside his son Ivan, a World War II veteran. Their weathered faces tell stories of battles fought and sacrifices made across decades. As they share a quiet moment, Ivan nods respectfully. "We've seen history, father, and lived to tell it." Scattered in the dirt, hundreds of wedding rings glimmer under the fading light, a haunting testament to lives torn apart. A U.S. Army soldier kneels, sifting through the pile, his breath heavy with disbelief, each one a promise, a love story, he murmurs as silence settles over the grim discovery. Two sisters twirl in their matching skirts, laughter filling the warm afternoon air. Spin faster, one giggles, watching the fabric flare like a blooming flower. Hand in hand, they skip down the sidewalk, the world as light and carefree as their steps. Chief Two Guns White Calf stands tall, his gaze strong and unwavering against the vast open plains. The intricate beadwork of his headdress catches the sunlight, a symbol of his people's strength and heritage. With a silent pride, he watches over the land, carrying the stories of generations before him. The mother tilts her hat dramatically, while her daughter mimics her pose with a mischievous grin. "Think we'll be famous," the girl giggles as they strike another playful stance. With laughter frozen in time, the camera captures not just their faces, but their joy. Marcy Borders sits in shock, her face and clothes coated in a thick layer of dust, her wide eyes filled with disbelief. The world around her has changed in an instant, but she is alive, holding onto the fragile thread of survival. In this moment, she is not just a witness, she is a symbol of resilience, though the lingering dust of that day would follow her for the rest of her life. Republican Party supporters and Democratic Party supporters fight with snowballs in front of the Capitol. January 1921, Washington, USA. A young child stands alone on a quiet 1920s street, their small frame wrapped in vintage clothing, but their face obscured by an unsettling monkey mask. The oversized eyes of the mask stare blankly ahead, giving the figure an eerie, almost otherworldly presence. The faded sepia tones of the photograph add to the haunting quality, as if the child is frozen in time, a ghostly reminder of a forgotten era. Dim lighting casts long shadows over the smoky bar as couples lean in close, their laughter mixing with the clink of glasses. A jukebox hums a slow tune in the corner, setting the mood for whispered conversations and stolen glances. In a booth by the window, a man lights his date's cigarette, the glow briefly illuminating her red lips as she smiles. In 1913, the two-piece swimsuit was introduced, though it differed considerably from the modern bikini. Despite its novel design, the garment still provided significant coverage of the midsection, and its transparent nature, when wet, prevented it from gaining widespread popularity until later in the century. In 1935, American designer Claire McCardell advanced swimwear design by eliminating the side panels of a maillot-style bathing suit, paving the way for the modern bikini. The invention of the telescopic watersuit in 1938, crafted from shirred elastic cotton, signaled the decline of wool as the fabric of choice, and by 1939, cotton sun tops adorned with palm tree prints, alongside silk or rain pajamas typically paired with a blouse, had become popular. In the 1950s, the popularity of patterned swimsuits soared as both competitive and recreational swimwear continued to evolve. Innovations in fabric technology, such as the introduction of latex and further developments in nylon, enabled the creation of more streamlined, form-fitting designs.